Hi guys, hope you're doing really well out there. I've got a laugh every time I go to do a video, especially if it's a really important one. There's some kind of construction, hoovering, drilling, banging, loud talking. It always just starts literally before I start the video. I swear this is the matrix working through other people. So if there is any background noise during this video, blame the Matrix, don't blame me. But welcome back guys to another video. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, and if you're not new, liking, commenting, it all helps help the channel out, helps spread the information and all that kind of good stuff. So basically what I wanted to speak about today is a lot of my information I acknowledge can be quite triggering, and I have a lot of people gravitate over from the New Age movement, that whole fake spiritual scene, love and light, we're going to ascend, all that kind of stuff, from a lot of the review videos that I've done and other content that I've put out down the years. And I've had conversations with people whereby they'll actually get visually upset when I start talking about not connecting with angels and things like that, and the fact that the God that we pray to is literally just an entity. You can check out my other video titled "Why God is a Demon." I understand, that title in itself can be quite triggering, but the core, the heart of my work is it brings it back to self and sovereignty and empowerment. And so on the surface, when you first stumble across it and you see where I'm calling a lot of this false white light stuff out, initially, I guess, because a lot of people have been stuck in that scene for so long, it can feel quite disempowering. And the conversations that I've had with people down the years, in sessions and things like that, sometimes they'll even look at me and say, well, who can I pray to? Or who can I connect with? Or something along those lines. And what I try and get across, and what I'm really intending to get across in this video, is that I am basically saying, look guys, the core heart of my work is empowering, because what I am saying is that what you are seeking outside of yourself is within you. That God energy, universe, source, essence, whatever you want to refer to it as, it's not some deity outside of you, some narcissistic God that requires your worship enemy your worship energy. It doesn't require you to get up at 4 a.m. and pray, or go to a place of worship every week and break bread and drink red wine, which is like blood. I mean, if your God, is that something you really want your creation to do? Surely if you're the creator of everything, all this beautiful nature, we can all just look outside of our window and we can see creation there. Surely you don't need that kind of worship energy. Sounds a little bit like an entity to me. An entity that might be feeding on that energy. I've said it so many times, that's why pray. What are you when you pray? You'll pray for something. So what I'm saying to you is, what you are seeking outside of yourself is within you. You have that spark of essence within you, that spark of creation, that God force within you. This is the cosmic joke. The cosmic joke is, I need to connect something to something outside of me because I am not powerful, whatever, right? So I need to seek outside of ourselves. And this whole matrix this box of tricks. That's why it's called a matrix. The whole design of it, every part of it, you look at all the psyops that are out there, it's to get you to look outside of yourself for enlightenment, self-realization. I don't really like those terms because they're kind of new age buzzy words, but essentially that's what we're talking about. They don't want you to connect to your own energy, your own insights, your own discernment, your own sovereignty. It's all about disempowering you, because if you are constantly seeking outside of yourself, you're disempowered. And I've said this before, it's not like you can't get a helping hand. I like to use the example, I say it all the time, if my electrics break down, I'm not going to try and fiddle with them because I'll probably electrocute myself. It's not going to end well. So I'm not saying we can't get help, we can't get guidance and all this stuff. The key thing here is we need to show discernment. And this is where so many people are getting unstuck in the whole New Age movement, spiritual scene, because they are going with what feels good rather than what feels right. And there's a whole bunch of stuff within that scene that on the surface feels good. Who doesn't want to believe in angels and friendly alien races coming down to save us, right? But does it feel true? Or does it feel like maybe we are supposed to take self-responsibility and move out of that victimhood and become our own saviors? And so what I want people to really ponder, to really kind of integrate within their psyche and their being, is the truth that you have that spark of the creation within you. And that's extremely, extremely empowering. This is the dichotomy of my information, is that, oh, I can't do this, we can't do that, that's BS, can't connect this. I'm saying, look, you don't need to. You don't need to. That power is within you. That genius is within you. That creative essence is within you. That ability to overcome trauma is within you. To overcome hurdles, challenges. This is the human experience. And we're seeing this on a grand collective scale now. And the more of us that have that, let's call it God realization, God doesn't do, God force, let's call it God force, does not do enslavement. God force does not do authority. God force does not have idiots in suits telling us what to do, how to live our lives, where we can go. I mean, you talk about QR codes and those passports, right, that are now mandatory in certain places. We won't get into it. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. But has anyone considered normal passports? What BS that is? The whole idea that to cross an imaginary line in the sand that some dude in a suit thought up, oh, I'm here in Mexico, I need a whole bunch of paperwork to cross over into the land that they call the United States. Has anyone considered that to be insane? Of course it's insane. God energy doesn't do that. God energy expresses itself wherever it is. It doesn't know any boundaries. You know, these boundaries were not here when the earth was created, however it was created. You can argue all day long how that was. Certainly don't believe that it was a big bang. Don't believe anything that they tell us. I was having a conversation the other day about this patches I've been talking about, how they tell us that 70 years is a long life. It's absolute trash. Of course it's not a long life. It's a very short life. We should go way, way beyond that. So all these things that we've bought into is because we've forgotten who we are, right? Because when you realize that you have that essence within you, suddenly all that stuff, you're like, no, mate, that's BS. I've got God force working within me. And that's very empowering. It's extremely empowering. I said to someone the other day, they started to get upset when I was talking to them about, look, don't connect with Archangel Michael anymore. He's siphoning your energy, he's hooking into you, etc., etc. And I was saying, look, when you look into someone's eyes, what do you see, right? When you really look closely into someone's eyes, you see like what appears to be mini universes, right? You can see within our physical makeup that we have that universal spark, creative spark, God, whatever, within us. You just look into someone's eyes. This is why we say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Because people that are, let's say, more disconnected, have very severe entity attachments, and I've said before, like murderers, rapists, and you hear the survivors talking about the eyes going black. It's because there's a disconnect from that God energy, that source energy, whatever you want to call it. So I want you guys to realize, especially those that are new to the channel, that what I'm attempting to get across to you, amongst all the calling out the love and the light and all that stuff that feels very good on the surface, I'm actually trying to empower you. And I'm actually just a reminder, a messenger, as we all are, we all have that potential to be, that little nudge to say, hey, you, look, remember, you don't need all that shit. You don't. Remember who you are. Become sovereign. Sovereign is in my opinion, a state of being. It's an energy. It's something you can feel. It's a like raw energy, you know? That's how I would describe it, like raw. You know, it's like, I'm not to be fucked with because I am God incarnate, or I have a spark of God, as we all do, right? And this is just my experience as Tony for this lifetime. And so that raw energy, I'm going to start calling it that. We need something new, don't we? You know, I don't like the term God because it implies a religious God. The universe, I mean, even the word universe, you, is telling you. Let's call it raw energy. That raw. Yeah, I know who the fuck I am now, right? That's a really strong energy, a really strong frequency. You can feel it in people. I can feel that in people. That's the true essence of humanity working through that person. Because, and the other thing is, we have been beaten down for so long. We have been told we're not good enough. We have been told that we're not worthy. We've been told that we need people to lead us, to make decisions from us, or make decisions about us. That we, and especially with the whole climate thing that they're pushing, humans are verming on the earth, you know, we're causing all this damage, yada, yada, yada. We've bought into this idea that we are parasites, right? We are parasites on this planet that need to be wiped out. No, we are not. You know who the parasites are? It's them. It's those people, the 1%, whatever you want to refer to them as, and I would say the entities working through that 1%, they are the real parasites. And I tell you what they are scared of. And with everything going on in the world right now, it all seems very depressing. Like, it feels like, how are we going to find a way out of this? Like, you know, you might feel like they've got the upper hand and we're around a lot of brainwashed people. But I tell you something now, they only have to do all of this because they are absolutely petrified of us remembering who and what we are. And all this stuff that I talk about, you know, the etheric interference, the attachments, the implants, the overlays, all that stuff. I always say to people, there's two ways of looking at it. You can look at it like, oh my God, we're screwed. The fact that they're doing all this to us. Or you can look at it as, my God, like, how powerful are we for them to need to do that to us? We must be insanely powerful. Insanely powerful. To not only manipulate us so much in the etheric, but also manipulate us in the physical form as well. Even with things like the fact that we need to pay to live. You know, we're the only species out there. You don't see like the birds, the monkeys, the whales. Like there's no like monetary exchange. They don't have to like buy food or pay for shelter. And I might be talking a little bit sort of utopian like, but what I'm getting people to do, or encouraging people to do, is just to think on it more. And understand on a deep level who and what you are, and stop thinking that someone out there is coming to save you. Whether that be Donald Trump, Putin, I'm hearing, angels, aliens, some guru. Yeah, you can get help. Yeah, you can get guidance, for sure. But we need to discern. That's where we're going wrong. There's no discernment going on. Discernment's a process. It's not just I'm going to take in this information, it feels good, so I'm going to go with it. That's not discernment. That's where people are getting unstuck. That's not sovereign. Discernment is, okay, there's a piece of information. I'm going to take it into my mind, and then I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel the frequency of that information. Because truth is a frequency. It's something you feel. And it doesn't always feel good. And then I'm going to maybe even sit on it for a while. And then I'm going to feel, how does that person... I mean, a person, their energy can be off, but they can still be speaking truth, right? I'm not saying that everyone's perfect out there. But a lot of the stuff in the New Age scene is truth mixed with lies, right? They have to give you some sugar. They have to put some truth into it. Otherwise, you wouldn't go for it. So we have to be able to pick out pieces, the truth mixed with the lies, and take what we need and leave what we don't. The problem is people are taking everything, and then they're basing their worldview on that, and maybe they're taking actions in alignment with disinformation, and that's where we're coming unstuck. And the other thing as well, there's this whole idea that we have to consume. When you wake up, you've got to consume all this information. You've got to read all these books. For me, that's another psyop, because I don't think that we do need to watch 1 million YouTube videos or read 1 million books to become enlightened, because there's so much disinformation out there. Disinformation, misinformation. What we need to do is we need to read the right books. We need to watch the right information. And so it's not quality, it's not quantity, it's quality. So these are all aspects that we need to become better at. But the main point of this video today was to remind you guys that I'm here to empower you. And if you're new to the channel, or even if you're not, and some of this information is triggering to you, then I'm here to remind you that what I'm doing is I'm telling you really essentially to come back to self. And when you're meditating, people go, oh, who do I meditate? I don't really like the idea of meditation. I'm going to make a video about it. It's probably going to trigger some more people, because a lot of meditation is about going outside there. I like the idea of pondering, and part of what I love to do is close my eyes and I go inside. And, answers. People are looking for answers. There's no one that's going to know better than your internal self what you need to do. The problem is we ignore it. We don't want to listen to it. Sometimes it might not be what we want to hear. But that's what we need to do. Rather than trying to get out there, let's go in there. In. There's a whole world within you. No lie. I'm not kidding you. When I do multi-dimensional regression work with people, or inner child work, you wouldn't believe the stuff that comes out of people's subconscious. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Like, you have a whole team of people, of aspects of self that are working on your behalf, protective parts that want you to not only survive but thrive. Your body conscious. You have a body that is conscious, that you can speak to, communicate to. I do it quite often. I said this in one of my last Q&As. Okay, if I'm not feeling well, what do I need? Okay, I need more rest. Okay, I've done too much exercise. Okay, I need to incorporate more red meat, or perhaps I need to incorporate some raw dairy or something like this, or maybe there's something else I'm not getting. Or, okay, I'm feeling quite disconnected from myself right now. Let's spend a few moments just coming back to self. Or maybe I'm feeling quite isolated. Maybe I need to connect with a friend. Yeah, that's what I need. I need to connect. Okay, I need to find a friend I connect with. So, but the problem is we're going out there, and then when we go out there and you get advice from all these false white light beings, and they'll tell you a whole bunch of baloney to take you off your path, and then we come unstuck. So again, I'm not suggesting you can't get guidance or help. Definitely not in the astral. Don't look for guidance in the astral. Ascended masters, Metatron, archangels, all. Please don't. I mean, it's up to you. You have free will. You're definitely playing Russian roulette in that dimension. But here on Earth, there are some good people that have good information, and there are some bad people that have bad information. And there's some that have a little bit of both, some that are a little bit ignorant. And I'm not even saying that I have the Holy Grail. I always say to people, question what I'm saying as well. But guys, you have that God force within you. You have a fractal of the universe within you. That's why we're creative beings. What is God? Is creation. What do they hate most of all? Our creativeness. Because they can't second guess it. They're one-trick ponies, but we can create our way out of everything. I mean, look how, the internet was used to entrap us and enslave us, and in some ways it has. But I'm able to put out videos like this. I'm able to educate. We're able to raise awareness. And what have they had to do? They've had to shut us all down, censor us. So we've turned that with our creativeness. This is why I say, like, a lot of the things that maybe that are going to be rolled out to use against us, maybe we can do the same things with that. I'm talking like cryptocurrency. I'm not saying it's a great thing, but maybe we could find some decentralized coins and, work our way around it that way. Other things as well. So they hate that about us. Look what they've done to art. I mean, you look at something like modern art. They've tried to destroy art. The funding from art in schools is almost like non-existent. they hate encouraging that right side of the brain, because we're able to get messages across that bypasses the filter or the conscious mind, which is like our firewall. You know, things like poetry. Poetry's dead. I love poetry. I put a couple of poems out in the last few years. Music. You know, they've co-opted music with all this satanic BS. You know, proper music with like proper instruments now. It's like dying. We got to hold on to those things, because through our creativity, through our music, our poetry, our art, we can get messages across, and we can bypass a lot of their BS. And so it really is a very important thing. People talk about what the solutions are. I think the biggest solution is people have to remember who and what they are. Because unless we come all the way back, full circle, back to self, we're never really going to embody the energy we need to embody to move forward as a species. We're always going to be disempowered, searching for something. And until we become self-empowered, then I find the idea of us getting out of this is going to be difficult. So one by one, we have to do it. We have to self-realize and stop giving our power away. Stop giving our power away to these master manipulators, master deceivers, which they are. And I have a lot of respect for how they do it. I don't like what they do, but I respect how they do it. They're very conniving, very manipulative. They're fantastic actors and actresses, not just in this dimension, but in the fourth dimension as well. They're brilliant salesmen and women. Always look for the dump in the punch bowl. That's what I refer to it as. The truth. They'll throw in a load of truth, but then there'll be the lie. And then all of a sudden you're down another cul-de-sac. And you blink and you miss it. That's how smart it is. This whole new age spiritual scene is so incredibly genius to me. They knew people were losing faith with religions. They needed a new religion. And what did they do? They created the new age movement. The love and light. Just accept everything. Just keep your vibration high. All you need to do is keep your vibration high, and then you're going to go to the new earth. Don't look at the negative though. You'll draw more of it in. No. You draw more of it in if you don't look at it. Very crafty. Very crafty. So guys, I think I'm done with that message. You're the universe. Incarnate. Start acting like it. So I'm going to leave it on that note. Again, if you're new here, like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Goodbye.